Hi everyone, my name is Eddy and I'm the Director of Admissions and Records here at Sandburg College. And as you all are well aware, we have some virus issues going on and you are having difficulties visiting schools and college representatives are having a hard time connecting with you. So we thought we would kind of help the process out by recording some videos with various institutions to kind of help you get familiar with the transfer process and learn a little bit about their schools. We've picked some schools that a lot of people transfer to make it easier for you. And if there's someone that you would like to see me talk to, which I realize that's a difficult task, but we can try to make that work. So today I am with Morgan Johnson. She is a transfer admissions counselor at Illinois State University. So hello, Morgan.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. Now, Morgan, you kind of fill out the whole bingo card of things where you were a Sandburg graduate or are a Sandburg graduate. Then you went to Illinois State University as an undergrad, and now you work for Illinois State University in the admissions department. Can you tell us a little bit about your thought process in choosing Illinois State University? What made you go there? Did you look at a lot of schools, that type of thing?
Absolutely. So right out of high school, I really wanted to go straight to Illinois State, but financially for me, it was better for me to go to a community college, save a little bit of money, work through my general education courses, and then go through that transfer process. So I really had my eyes on ISU from the time that I was in high school and from the time that I started at Sandburg. What helped for me was I fell in love with the campus when I came to visit campus. I came as a high school student, but then I came again as a transfer student when I was still at Sandburg, just to make sure that I still liked the community and that I liked the fit as a transfer student, because it can be completely different. And for me, I really felt at home at Illinois State. There were a lot of other transfer students there, so I knew that they did a good job of helping students transition into their environment. And I was also able to work with my advisor at Sandburg to help make sure that my credits were transferring properly, that I was working through the requirements for my major, and I knew that I was going to be able to make a smooth transition into Illinois State. So it definitely helped talking to a lot of people at ISU, just to get to know a little bit more about their university throughout the process to make sure it was going to be a good fit. But it really helped when I worked with my advisor, just to make sure that when I was going through the courses that I was planning to take, that I knew what school I wanted to go to, and I was really locked in on ISU, and it made for a very smooth transition.
Wonderful. And I probably should have screened you before we started talking, but did your credits transfer easily? Was that a smooth transition? And what did you end up majoring in at ISU?
Yes, so I had a very smooth transfer process. It was very nice. My advisor, Vicki McMullen, was able to help me work through transfer guides that ISU provided to make sure my credits were going to transfer. So each semester we went through those to ensure that I was good to go. I also was on the associates track, so that helped ensure that my classes were going to transfer as a package. So I came in at junior standing at Illinois State, and I didn't have quite all of my general education courses done. I did the associates in science track, so I still had, I believe, a humanities to finish, but I was able to get that done very easily, work that into my schedule at ISU. But all of my credits transferred. I had a very smooth transition, and I'm very happy to say that I was able to do my time at my community college very strategically and be able to transfer right into my major, which was accounting. I was an accounting student on campus. Although I started in financial aid, I loved the numbers, so I thought I wanted that accounting route. And then I started working in admissions and realized I fell in love with that a little bit more. So I have that a degree as a backup if I ever need it, but I don't foresee myself going into that route.
Nothing wrong with that. It's just a step in the journey. Now, Illinois State is smack dab in the middle of the state, so it's not too far of a drive from here. When people think of Illinois State University, what would be the things that immediately come to mind?
It really depends on the person that's thinking about it. So somebody from the Sandburg area, for me personally, when I thought of Bloomington Normal, I thought of it as, a bigger city. They had quite a bit of the same things that places like Peoria or the Quad Cities would have, but all in one big area. If you're asking somebody who's coming from the Chicagoland area, they're going to say that it's surrounded by cornfields, which if you're coming from the Galesburg area, the Knox County area, you're already used to that. And for me, moving to the Bloomington-Normal area was more like moving into a little suburb. There are plenty of places for college students to hang out, whether it's restaurants, coffee shops. Once you hit that 21 plus age, plenty of outdoor bars, things like that as well. So it's a really fun environment. It's very, very college friendly. Right next to campus is an uptown Normal area that has over 40 different shops and dining areas that are really good spots for students to either get off-campus jobs or to just hang out when they need a little bit of a break from school. So it's a really fun area, and a lot of our graduates end up sticking around, kind of like I did, because they end up loving the area so much.
What was one of the big things that you feared going away to school that really wasn't accurate at all?
Probably making friends. I feel like that is something that students mention all the time. And there's definitely a transition period when going to a new school. At Sandburg, I felt like I got to know so many people, whether it was other students or faculty and staff from having a job on campus. And so when I moved to a new school, it was hard to kind of build those connections when you were one of 21,000 kids. But what's nice is the class sizes are pretty small, so you still are able to meet other students. My first class, I remember I sat down, we went through class, there was a girl sitting next to me, and I mentioned, hey, do you know where this building is? I have my next class there and I have no idea where I'm going. And she was like, oh, I just transferred in from Illinois Central College. I have no idea where I'm going either. And I was like, okay, well, we're in the same boat. We were from community colleges that were very close. So we were familiar with our areas, and we ended up being really good friends. And there's also tons of resources on campus. You do have to put yourself out there a little bit to find them sometimes, and to get involved. But there's so many organizations for you to get involved in, whether it is like our Transfer Redbirds organization, which is literally just an organization on campus made up of transfer students to help you meet new transfer students on campus. They also have a mentor program to help you transition throughout the first year. And then there's literally groups for anything you can think of, from like a hot sauce club to a squirrel watching club to a circus that we have on campus. So you can kind of find your fit anywhere on campus. Sometimes you do have to put yourself out there a little bit, but finding friends was definitely my biggest fear, and I, like many students end up saying, made my best friends in college.
It's interesting that you followed up hot sauce with squirrels, and that concerns me just a little bit, but we'll go ahead and bypass that. So I'm now convinced that Illinois State University is a place that I want to take a look at. What would be my next steps to try to move the process along as we approach December?
Absolutely. So we do have a little while before our application period, before our preferred filing period hits in January. So I would first say, if you've never visited campus, if you're comfortable, oh my goodness, if you're comfortable driving and coming to campus, we do have physical campus visits right now. We have Transfer Fridays, which will give you a presentation about transferring into the university, followed by a campus tour. We also do have virtual visit options. So if you don't want to come to campus or you can't make it to campus, you can get that same presentation over Zoom. And then we'll follow that up, instead of a campus tour, with a student panel. So you can talk to current students about their experience on campus. Once you do get a fit for the university and you do feel at home, your next step would be to go ahead and apply. Like I mentioned, January 15th is our preferred filing period. So still a little bit of time. That is going to get you in for best consideration for our majors, best consideration for our transfer scholarships. And then that's going to set you up with an early orientation day, so you can start moving forward with those next steps to officially enroll on campus.
Wonderful. And I would be remiss if I did not ask about the Redbird Promise. You want to tell us a little bit about what that is and what it means to our students?
Yes, so Redbird Promise is a really great program. It is a guaranteed admission program between Carl Sandburg and Illinois State. It essentially states that if you do plan to get your Associates in Science or Associates in Arts from Sandburg and leave there with at least a 2.4 GPA, that you are going to be guaranteed undeclared admission into Illinois State at least 4 years prior to you actually transferring in. So that is a really great way to know that, yes, for sure, you are going to be admitted into the university if you're meeting those standards. It also does help us keep in touch with you. So when you sign up for that, it gets you on our email listserv. So that way we can make sure you're aware of those specific requirements that you need to transfer into your major, the resource guides that we have so you know how your credits transfer from Carl Sandburg to ISU. And then again, it guarantees that admission. As a transfer student, every program does have a little bit different requirements for admission. So some will have specific courses, some will have specific GPAs. That Redbird Promise is also a nice little safety net program. So if for whatever reason you forget a course to get into your major, if your GPA doesn't quite hit the GPA requirement that you need for your program, but you still have that associates with the 2.4 and you're signed up for Redbird Promise, still guaranteed at least undeclared admission into the university. And it's just a really great way to connect with us early on to make a smooth transition.
Excellent. For those who are watching, there are pretty good number of Sandburg graduates who are at Illinois State right now, so you might walk around, see a familiar face. I can tell you that some of my favorite folks in the world are in their admissions office, so they would take good care of you if that's the route you decide to go. Morgan, you want to tell us how to get in touch with you for more information?
Absolutely. So right now, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to us at admissions@illinoisstate.edu. Please feel free to put attention Morgan or address it directly to me, and that'll get routed right to my email. And then I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, from what might be required for your major to how your credits get transferred to just what that process was like as a transfer student coming from Sandburg into Illinois State.
Excellent. And we'll do what we can to tag some sort of information onto the video so they don't have to rewind that 9 times to make sure that they know that we've got the right information. Morgan, thank you for joining me today. And for those who are watching, look for more videos similar to this with different institutions. Thanks.
Thank you for having me.